everybody. I hope you are having a fantastic Monday, a fresh slate, clean slate, fresh start to the week. I've got a couple new journals to go into the shop today. One is just one of our very favorite fabrics that we work with, and that is our Peacock fabric. I found this when I was doing my destashing and cleaning last week, and this, I just love her. She's very fragile, very feminine. The butterfly wings have flowers on them, so I really love her. Let's start out with Miss Peacock and just take a look here. I wanted her beaded spine to be over the top, and it is quite over the top. It has glass beads, Czechoslovakian beads. It has some mirrored beads in it, hematite. These are macrame beads, and she is just kind of glittery and very much like a peacock, all glittery and all fancy. I wasn't in my office last week because I went to see my mama in North Carolina. It was her 80th birthday on Thursday of last week, which consequently, oddly, was the first day of summer as well. So a nice experience to go see Mom, spend some time with the family. We went to the Billy Graham Museum, Billy Graham Library, and I'll tell y'all a little bit about that as we're perusing this book. Peacock is finished off with a rhinestone brad, and I love this color. It's kind of a topaz color. I did jelly printing the weekend before I left, and so I had lots of jelly prints to share with you guys, and I'm so excited because these turned out to have so much beautiful texture. You know, I love the feel of paint on paper, and these jelly prints to me came out great. I know that a lot of people do jelly prints and they, you know, they're very neat about it. I'm not neat about my jelly prints. I really do like to just get in there and get grimy with some paint and just have fun, and that's just what I like to do. A lot of people are super neat about it. I'm just not that neat or patient. We talked about magazine pages being such a great element in flow journals. These are magazine pages from various publications. I did a series this month called How to Use a Flow Journal, where I talk about using magazine pages and how to use magazine pages. The imagery is just, to me, the imagery is just very, very inspiring. And I also love to put these signatures together because I look at color, I look at texture, I look at faces and the way people are dressed, and I really like to make it into a little bit of a story right there. Of course, we have this meditating man, and he is in, I don't know what that thing is, but it looks like fun. My asana this morning was humility, and it started out in child's pose, which is one of my favorite poses, extended child's pose. Man, that is just good. I do yoga with Adrian, and I am getting back into yoga with Adrian after being away from it. I have a hard time exercising in the winter, but in the summer, I'm all about it. I love her, and I love the way her hat went with this scrapbook paper right here. You know, again, the texture thing that I'm so interested in, textures and colors. So this is a postcard from Amsterdam in Holland. My dad had acquired some beautiful postcards from Holland that a friend had given to him for Father's Day, so he passed those along to me for us to play with. This is a skinny book. This is one of the vintage playing cards, the Hallmark cards that I bought at Possibilities Thrift Store, which is in Fort Mill, South Carolina, and it is a no-kill rescue, the ASPCA no-kill rescue. It is where my son got my new grand kitty, and his name is Neil, and he's awesome, and I love him. He gravitated right toward me. He is not afraid. He's very much about the love, love, love. He's not one of those kitties that runs and hides or anything like that. I've got some new papers to work with, so you'll notice that there are new papers in these journals. I also decided that I would put in some plain white writing paper for you guys. I thought that might be handy as you go through the book and you journal about this and that. This is an Uno card. I remember my kids playing Uno with my precious mother-in-law. And they loved, loved, loved to play. She was all about the games, y'all. She would play games with those kids. I mean, if it was baseball, if it was Uno. And then she loved to play dominoes. And my children they had two great grandmas. One's gone, one's still around, thank goodness. We've got some text pages for you to work with. We have some flashcards for you to play with, some new bookmarks. I am trying to use orange more. Orange is our challenge over at Leanne's Patreon site to do something in orange. Orange is not my color. I really don't like it, but I am trying very hard to adapt it into more of my art. And I will be working on Leanne's June challenge, which is to make something with your least favorite color, which is orange. I've got some Peter Newell prints right here from Alice in Wonderland. Tea-dyed actual iced tea tags. We drink a lot of iced tea here, especially in the summertime, and I make our iced tea. We don't buy that stuff from the store that may or may not have sugar in it. I do ours the old-fashioned way, and it's kind of fun to put all those, I use mason jars, and I make a tea base, so I take a mason jar and put hot water in a tea kettle, and then put half a cup of sugar in each mason jar, in each quart mason jar. That and 2 family-sized tea bags, and that makes a half-gallon of tea. I know that's a lot of sugar. My boyfriend loves it. I drink it. I do a half and half. I do a half water, half tea thing. This is a hold ticket for you guys to play with. You know my story about when I worked in a dress shop. I did not sell dresses, but I was the bookkeeper for a small dress shop. It was very fancy back in its day. It's fun to remember that now. This is a bit of a sticker. It's a black vinyl sticker. It's the letter T, so you can have fun with that. Maybe you want to combine that with some script that you're inventing and do the word terrific or whatever you want to do with it. These are the stackables that we've been doing with scrap paper. I love this. It says, be present. Man, be here now, be here now, be here now. This is another one of our little stackables. This time it does have staples in it on the back, so just be careful when you're pulling it in and out. Some funny money from a Monopoly set, Doctor's Fee, pay $50. Again, these are pieces from a vintage Monopoly set, and I am nuts about how am I going to put this? I think it's fun to imagine having abundance. I think if you imagine having abundance, then abundance will come into your life. And I think it's fun to take a $20 bill and just think about, hey, here's what I could do with that. Even if you don't have $20 to spare, it's a great exercise to just say, well, I've got $100 and here's what I'm going to do with it. It kind of opens your head up to possibilities, and I'm all about the abundance thing, and anything that helps me along that path is a great thing to me. This is from an old glue book that I did, and I'm passing along some of my old art to you guys. I don't want it sitting on shelves. There are a lot of reasons for that, but which I'll probably talk about at some point. But I am clearing clutter, getting rid of things, passing along the love to you guys, because I love things like this. I love this page. It says Defy Gravity. I'm hoping that in the passing along of love to people, that I will open a space in my life for more love. It's all about the love, really, y'all. This is a playing card that says Rossini, and a rose cut out right here. A nice pink paper for you guys to play with, and some sweet pink magenta color washi tape. More of the vintage Hallmark mushroom cards. I'm crazy about those things. A fabric swatch right here for you. These are the fabric swatches on tags that Gail made that I love, love, love so much. This is a button ensemble, so something to play with. Game ephemera. This says Dream Big. Tea-dyed paper, coffee-dyed paper, kind of just stuck in here. This is an image of a guy from, I don't know, maybe the 1930s. This is a copied image. It's not an original image. Again, a little bit of art to pass along to you guys. This is, I think I was doing some stenciling. This is from a magazine about, and I was talking to my mom about this, and she remembers that, during the 60s, that marketers would actually, market magazines, brochures to homeowners and try and get them to use their products. So that's what this reminded me of. This is management of the kitchen, and I think this is from an institutional cookbook that is 1933. A piece of 1942 Red Cross nursing manual that gives the Bureau of Statistics, communicable disease, sanitation. It's just like the health department laid out in a tree form, like a family tree. This is a vintage Christmas card. You've got lots of fun papers to play with. And the vintage Christmas card is from Oscar in 1950. So that was 8 years before I was born. This, again, I was doing some piddling around with some stencils. I think I was using some homemade molding paste or something. It says, I can fit everything into a pattern of good for you, and that is from the Bible. A vintage dictionary page. One of these flowers that I was doing several months ago. I love them. I think they're so much fun. They're a fabric flower, and then they have paper elements, so I thought that you guys would maybe like one of those. This is some ephemera from my trip to Italy that I just hardly can believe it happened. It just seemed like a dream. This is a little notepad for you guys. It features a little Seven Gypsies caravan on it. I love that caravan. Isn't that neat? It's a good way to travel. Another one of the Hallmark mushroom playing cards. This is, to me, this was going places. This is the ocean. This is the mountains. Vintage sheet music for you. A really awesome, Airstream trailer that's been customized. I think it would be fun to live in an Airstream trailer. I think it would be fun to live in an RV. Just think of that. You could really see a lot of the country in an RV, and then when you got tired of traveling, you would pull the RV into a campground, and usually campgrounds are quite nice, very... they might be at the ocean side, or they might be at the lake side, or they always seem to have very beautiful surroundings. So I'm just thinking that would be kind of a fun thing to do, to have your home on wheels. This is a mini book for you guys, and it's finished off with some handmade paper beads and a small plastic bead right here. I should have Peacock in the store a little later on today. Let's take a look at Miss Butterfly. Oh, it's just it's the season for butterflies, isn't it? I still have not seen a lot of big-ish butterflies, but I have seen the I don't know what those are. They're beautiful white little butterflies, and they seem to love to play together. I also have not seen very many gypsy moths so far this year. The first year I was here, I was so excited when I saw a gypsy moth, and it was on my green beans, and I took a picture of it, and I was like, oh my goodness, this is so gorgeous, until she ate my green bean plants, and then it was like, oh well, that didn't work out quite like I thought it was going to. This book has a sweet little beaded spine. I used some crystal beads, Czechoslovakian glass beads, and it's finished off with some bead caps. And I love these little beads. They're very sparkly, and they have like a little flower embedded in them. Very sweet. She's finished off with a Tim Holtz number 19 brad. These are the stackables that we've been doing. You know, you're going to stack your scraps, and I like that. All good things are wild and free. Enjoy the little things. Homemade deli paper. This is what happens when I spray and I jelly print. I always roll out a bit of waxed paper from the kitchen, and it gives us a very texture-oriented paper to play with, and I call it just homemade deli paper. Wheel of Fortune, $500. What would you do with $500? Enjoy the rod. I love the bicycle, of course. This is sheet music that has been annotated. I like anything that is written upon. When I went to the Possibilities thrift store with my son and my daughter-in-law, I was having a super hard time because a lot of the composition books had writing in it, and I was like, "Oh no, I'm trying to pass along the love," and it was like, "Oh geez, do I really need this?" But I did end up with quite a few of them, so there's that. Salvaged handwriting, right? This is from the 1960s Adele's DIY book. This is a course on how to paint. I love the illustrations here, the black and white. A bit of Venetian ephemera for you. Some tea-dyed and coffee-dyed papers. I think I'm kind of getting the hang of it. I sure do love doing it. I'm still not where a lot of you guys are. I got a package in the mail that was, and it's so beautiful. And it was just packed with tea-dyed papers. I'm like, how? How are you guys doing that so beautifully? I do think I'm getting the hang of it. I'm getting the hang of it. This says be inspired, gentle spirit, the Hallmark cards that I'm just crazy about. Look at the full moon, and then the mushroom, and then these butterflies. It's just extraordinary. I love it. A whole ticket, a little bookmark right here for you, some letters to play with. This pocket is just packed with things to write upon and do, and this is some sticky note paper that is just gorgeous. One of Gail's swatches, another one of Gail's pieces. This is a piece of original art for you guys. She was just plain weird, and I really do love her. I especially love the robots up here. A really nice piece for you to journal on. This is another signature with the white paper in it. Insta Magic, and more jelly prints. I love these cards, Famous Brothers. I think anything that kind of jogs your memory and makes you think in these journals is a great thing. Another magazine, a selection of magazines for you, magazine pages. Just beautiful. Sheet music, a gorgeous living room, a sweet little napkin with a hula girl on it. Another selection of papers, and you've got some things to play with in here as well. A little card, homemade deli paper. Beauty shines from within. That is so true. I love these papers, you guys. These are new papers. kind of that Moroccan theme that we just love so much. This is a homemade feather a la Jennibellie, and I will be doing more of these type feathers. I'll also be doing some more paper feathers in the future, because I'm thinking that that would be kind of a fun junk pack, right? To have some handmade things and then put them together in a junk pack. I think that that would be fun. This is butterfly fabric, a skinny book, a butterfly right here, and some, these are those super cool border strips that I like so much. A card from the 70s game. This is from Venice, a postcard from St. Mark's Basilica. I love this vintage card. He's just so colorful. He's just a sweet little rabbit, and he's got the mail in his hand. Got on a Santa cap. This is Best Wishes from Bill and Olive. More things for you to play with. A skinny book right here and some chipboard. I like this thing. It says, "Make your magic." Yeah. Do it every day, y'all. Make your magic. This is from a magazine. I love the way that the colors all develop together. Prima flower for you to play with. Border strips, bookmarks. There's a mermaid element back here that says float on. Love that. This is again I'm trying to use more orange, and I really do like the way that this steampunk heart came out on this orange paper. Selection of texts for you guys to play with. My series, How to Use a Flow Journal, had all kinds of ideas about how to use text pages. So do look for that free series on the Facebook, as my mama puts it. 1876, this is the Three Musketeers. We have a pocket full of goodies right here. This is a sweet jelly print. I love those colors. The yellow and the turquoise together are just beautiful. The eyes have it in this signature, you guys. I just thought, I like eyes. My friend Leanne likes eyes. I kind of got obsessed with drawing them. It's probably been 2 years ago now. I took a class, an online class that one of my friends gifted me, and it was a lot of it was drawing eyes, and I got to where I drew eyes all the time. But I love this green color here too. Very cool, very stark. This is a chipboard piece from the Game of Life, and a mini book for you guys right here. I will have the butterfly journal and our Peacock journal in the shop a little later on this afternoon, guys. I've got 2 more to finish up and tell you about as well today. I got a lot of this work done last week before I left for my little trip to celebrate my mama's birthday. Thank you guys for listening. Thanks for watching. Thank you for your support at the Etsy shop. I appreciate you so much. Have a wonderful Monday, y'all. Talk to you soon. Bye.